We just want to say thank you to everyone for joining us on the call. Today, we're going to be talking about Westchester Power and your community energy program. And I think a lot of people are thinking more about their energy with the recent power outages, and perhaps as they're frustratedly trying to turn on the lights and no lights are going on, maybe people are thinking not only what is going on and when will my power come back, but also where is this electricity coming from and is it green? So we're going to be talking about that and explaining what Westchester Power is, how it helps you to lower your carbon footprint, and to make sure that you're participating in the program. So we're going to move through some slides, but it's fine if you're on the phone. It'll still be quite informational. And then if you guys have questions throughout the call, feel free to unmute yourself and ask for clarification. And then at the end, we can also go through some Q&A. So that's my quick intro, and I think I'll share my screen and we can get started. Okay, so my name's Lauren Broyce. I am an employee at Sustainable Westchester, and I'm joined today by Carmen Santos, also my colleague at Westchester Power. So this conversation and clean energy presentation is meant for people in Larchmont, Mamaroneck, and New Rochelle and Pelham. But if you're calling in from another area, that's fine too, as Westchester Power covers the entire county in bits and pieces. So Sustainable Westchester is a nonprofit consortium of Westchester governments, and it's our goal to enable sustainability programming to help ensure a better future for our communities. Out of the 45 municipalities in Westchester County, 44 of the municipalities are members, as well as Westchester County itself. So together we can really achieve some great action on climate change. Today we're going to be talking about Westchester Power, but we just wanted to let you know that we do offer a whole series of programs and offerings. So if you're interested in learning more about community solar and saving 10% on your electricity bill every month, we can definitely talk more about that at the end of the presentation. We also offer electrification solutions. So if you feel your house is drafty or perhaps wasting energy, our Heat Smart program can help you learn about options for clean heating and cooling and home energy efficiency. And through our Clean Transportation Project, we also offer rebates and incentives for electric vehicles. And zero waste programs are also our expertise. So we want Sustainable Westchester to be a one-stop shop for all of your sustainability questions and needs. So let's kick it off. And Carmen, can you talk to us? What is Westchester Power?
Sure. So Westchester Power is our county community energy program established in 2016. We work with local municipalities to aggregate residents and small businesses to buy clean electricity as a group at competitive fixed rates. In doing so, we have a positive impact on the environment and our communities. So Larchmont, Mamaroneck, Town and Village, New Rochelle, and Pelham, and 22 other municipalities have chosen to participate in the program. If you live in Larchmont, Mamaroneck, New Rochelle, or Pelham, which I will now refer to as the Sound Shore municipalities, you may be among our 115,000 customers. Our residents and small businesses make up about 1/3 of the county. So there are two main parts to your electricity bill: the supply and distribution. Westchester Power takes care of the supply side. That is, we purchase electricity on your behalf and we purchase clean energy. Con Ed continues to take care of the distribution side, which is they take care of the delivery of the power to your home. They maintain the grid and send you your electricity bill. So so you end up having more energy choice, and through your participation, you support clean energy. So we offer two supply options: green supply, which is 100% renewable New York State hydropower, and basic supply, which is a mix of fossil fuels and renewable energy. We are happy to share that 24 municipalities, including all the municipalities we listed, have chosen green supply as their default energy option. Also, customers can switch between these supply options at any time. So if you have Con Ed, you live in one of the municipalities, Larchmont, Mamaroneck, New Rochelle, or Pelham, and or one of the other 22 municipalities that are in the program, then and your electricity supplier is Constellation, that is the name in your bill says Constellation, then you're in Westchester Power. And thank you for participating in the program. Westchester Power has many great benefits. We are a community nonprofit approved by your municipality. We are, we're not an energy ESCO company, but we do work with ESCOs, sorry, and Constellation would be the ESCO that we currently work with. As a resident or small business, you do not have to sign any contracts or pay any penalties or fees to enter or exit the program. There are no surprises on your rates. We will notify you ahead of time of any price changes, such as for 2021 when your municipalities hopefully enter a new supply contract. So we continuously provide customer service. You can reach us by phone or email. We do outreach in our communities to help inform residents about Westchester Power and clean energy, like this event that we're having tonight. And we help residents get out of predatory ESCO contracts and help them read their electricity bills. And we provide all these resources in Spanish. Currently, we have fixed rates, which buffer you from the daily changing energy market. Savings cannot be guaranteed, but because of our large customer size, we secure competitive green supply prices. But that's not all. The program is also great for our community. So Lauren, please tell us more.
Thanks, Carmen. Okay, so I think we all know that for many decades, fossil fuels like coal, oil, and natural gas have been major sources of our electricity production. But burning fossil fuels can produce large amounts of greenhouse gases, which cause climate change and have harmful impacts on people's well-being and the environment. So we are definitely seeing the benefits of the Westchester Power program realized locally because we are bringing clean, renewable energy, electricity, to our neighbors and community members. So when you sign up with the Westchester Power program, you have great access to this affordable, clean, and renewable power. We also want to talk about the improvement to air quality. We are reducing pollution by sourcing renewable electricity. And I think in light of current events, with COVID-19, we all are starting to think more about the importance of having good air quality. So contributing to degrading our air quality is something we definitely don't want to do. And I think people are also starting to learn and pay attention more to environmental injustice communities where power plants are typically located. So by participating in Westchester Power, you're helping to improve the energy grid and not contribute to additional pollution. And additionally, we're helping to build the green energy economy and find more green jobs for folks, which is a great thing. So I'm not sure if people are familiar, but New York State has very aggressive and actually nation-leading goals in reducing climate change. We want to see a 70% target in renewable energy by 2030 and zero emissions by 2040. And an interesting statistic that I can share with you guys is that basically we have 10 years to reach this goal of 70% renewable energy on our grid by 2030. And currently we are at 28% renewable energy, which is largely hydropower. So to move the needle to that 70%, we need even more people to participate with Westchester Power. Okay, and we are able to really quantify the impact that we have in the county. We've helped to reduce tons and tons of CO2. Actually, over 600,000 tons of CO2 have been mitigated. And I mean, this is a huge number that might not mean much to the average person, but if you think about it in cars taken off the road for 1 year, it totals up to over 142,000 cars removed from the road for 1 year. So that's a great thing. Now, we're also laying the foundation for a clean energy future. Westchester Power is helping us to expand our community solar offerings. And as we mentioned at the beginning of the call, community solar can help you to get a 10% discount on your utility bill. We can talk more about that after the call. And we're also thinking about electrifying everything, which is a really important concept that I could explain for a minute or two if you're not familiar with the concept yet. Normally I'd be in a room and people could nod their heads or shake their heads and I would know what they're thinking. So since I don't know, I think I'll just go into the importance about electrifying everything just for a brief moment. So really what we're talking about when we say electrifying everything is that to meet our state goals of greenhouse gas reductions, we want to see people move away from oil and natural gas in their homes towards heat pumps, electric appliances that can help to heat and cool the house. Same thing for your car. We want to see people move away from gasoline-powered vehicles to electric vehicles. So if we're getting everything hooked up to the electric grid, the most important piece of it all is that our electricity is green and renewable. So essentially, if you've electrified everything and you participate in Westchester Power, you can be 100% fossil fuel free. Pretty cool. Okay. So one more piece of information about the benefits the program brings is that it's allowing us to offer additional programs to Westchester County residents. One of these is a residential demand response program. We're piloting the program this summer for residential customers to lower their energy use during peak hours of the day. We're also bringing more renewable supply to Westchester County, and we're also piloting new models. So at our headquarters in Mount Kisco, we are doing a sunshine to electric vehicle pilot. Okay, so now Carmen is going to be taking a look at the Sound Shore community's economics of the Westchester Power program. Carmen, can you take it away?
Sure, thank you, Lauren. So we use past utility prices and we research the energy market to set a rate price that your municipality approves of, which energy supply companies must offer or go below in order to supply us energy. Our current rates are lower than the average Con Edison supply rate over 12 months from July 2017 to July 2018. Sound Shore residents and small businesses have 100% renewable energy at 7.96 cents per kilowatt hour as their default supply. Some other municipalities like Greenberg and Mount Kisco have chosen basic supply as their default supply, and so they have 7.71 cents per kilowatt hour. In this graph, you can see how our rates, represented by the lines, compare to the Con Ed rates, represented by the blue bars. Please note that most of our customers have 100% renewable energy, and that Con Ed supplies about 30% renewable energy. So since the start of 2019, Con Ed has shown a slight advantage in their rates by about 1 to 3 cents. But throughout the life of the Westchester Power program, residents in Sound Shore municipalities have saved about $1.70 to $2.40 every month for green supply. And the range is there because we're talking about 5 different municipalities. And 2.50 cents to $5 for basic supply. Although participants saw modest savings, it is important to note that Con Ed rates vary with the market and cannot be predicted. Therefore, there's no guarantee that Westchester Power fixed rates will provide savings versus Con Ed. Thanks to your participation, however, we are very proud to say that you've helped us secure one of the most economical green supplies in Westchester County. For a comparable term of fixed rate and 100% renewable energy in the Sound Shore municipality area, there are only 2 green energy choices in the New York State Power to Choose website. Westchester Power's rate is about 1 cent less than the lowest price available and about 2 times less than the only other option. So over the life of the program, collectively, residents and small businesses in Westchester Power in the Con Edison territory, Larchmont, Mamaroneck, New Rochelle, and Pelham included, have saved about $4.2 million, but more importantly, have helped mitigate about 585,000 metric tons of carbon dioxide, which is a large portion of what Lauren mentioned earlier. Lauren, please remind us, how can residents and small businesses participate in Westchester Power?
Okay. It looks like Deborah is pretty aware that she's already in the Westchester Power program. Catherine's probably on mute and driving, but I'm assuming she's part of Westchester Power. But for the sake of anyone that may be watching this as a recorded video, a reminder is that a way to tell if you are in Westchester Power is if you take a look at your Con Edison bill and see that your electricity supplier is listed as Constellation New Energy Incorporated. That is the way to tell if you are in the program. Another qualifying thing is that you must live in a municipality that participates within Westchester Power, which the Sound Shore communities do. Are we hearing from Catherine? Do you hear that, Carmen?
I just unmuted myself for a second.
Can you?
Okay. Yes.
Missed it.
We could probably continue.
Okay. All right. So yes, that's how we know we're participating. And if you have any questions or you want to get in contact with us, our email is listed on the screen as well as our phone number. And we would be very happy to help you figure out your situation and see if you are eligible to switch into the Westchester Power program.
So oh, I'm sorry. Are you going on to another section now?
Go ahead, Catherine. We have just a few more slides, but go ahead.
I just, so I was very excited when you guys introduced Westchester Power, and I liked the fact that the municipalities had everybody in the community. It was basically you had to opt out as opposed to opting in. And so my question is, what are the percentages in our Sound Shore communities for people that stayed with it? And then what happens when a house is sold and you've got a new owner and a new Con Ed, customer? Does that automatically go to Westchester Power?
Great questions.
So I think we start with your last question, which was what happens to a customer that recently moves to a property? Well, basically, they get a notification letter that Lauren will explain a little bit more about that generally most of our customers get once we go into a new supply contract for the municipality. But they get a newly eligible letter. It gives them 30 days to opt out of the program if they would like to. And if they would choose to remain in the program, they don't have to do anything. They're simply become part of Westchester Power. And in terms of opting out, it has varied. I think we've kept a good percentage of our members. I sometimes take some Spanish calls, and when I explain to the callers what the program is, they either want to say, oh yeah, I would definitely want to help the green situation and stay in the program, or they say something like, I really want to help, but I'm not in the economic situation to be able to help, and they drop out of the program. But all of them, I think, are very happy to learn that we are doing this for our communities.
And just to tag on to what Carmen said, this is Lauren now. I think that we can probably send Catherine the actual statistics for the opt-out rate. Is that something we can do, Carmen?
Yes, we can actually, Catherine. All of this information is available in our annual reports. We present the attrition of the program for every year to the PSC. So we'd be happy to share those with you via email. I have your email and I can do that.
Oh, that's excellent. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Sure.
Okay, and as far as when someone new moves to the neighborhood, Carmen, they're automatically enrolled or they receive paperwork? When do those go out? Every quarter?
So yes, they actually do that. Thank you for reminding me that. They go out every quarter. There's like a refresh that occurs to see like who has come into our municipalities that are new. And so we send out a refresh notification letter and informing the people that are about to be opt-in that, you know, they're about to be opt-in to the program. We give them information about their supply rate and what Westchester Power is, and also how to opt out of the program or how to switch from supply options. So Lauren's actually going to go into this a little bit more.
Okay. Right, so what's coming next? So in 2021, we are going to be having a new contract. So there's actually nothing that the homeowner needs to worry about. There's no additional paperwork required for the homeowner, but just so everyone on the call knows, we are going to go out to bid again for a new energy supplier. So on your Con Ed bill, you may see a different company instead of Constellation. And that's really the biggest change that the customer will notice. But just to remind you or to let you know, we have some goals for our new bids. We want to make sure we still have 2 supply options, the green supply and the basic supply, and we'll stay committed to purchasing New York State energy RECs or clean energy sources. So those are the biggest updates, but again, no paperwork or changes necessary on your part. And some things to just look out for. We'll be doing more outreach, more webinars like this. We'll also be sending a notification letter out to everyone in early November. And that's where the opt-out period will be, but anyone could opt out at any time. But early November is the time to look out for our letter, and enrollment begins on January 1st. And just a little reminder, if you're like me, maybe you get a lot of paper mail that is kind of confusing from an energy company who really knows. So we definitely recognize there's a lot of confusion in the marketplace. So please, whenever you're receiving your Westchester Power information, always look for the Sustainable Westchester logo, as you can see here on the screen, and also your municipality seal, depending on where you live. And this paperwork is available in English and in Spanish. So definitely, if you're unsure, if you get something in the mail, if someone's calling you on the phone and you're just confused, I'd say you could definitely hang up and give us a call at the office to confirm that this is still, yes, the Westchester Power, your municipality's partnership Westchester program. So that's that. And okay, that brings us to the end. So we want to say thanks to everyone for helping us to build a clean energy future in Westchester County. We are continuing with some more webinars. I think, how many do we have left? 4 left over the next week or so. So if you know someone in another area of the county, please send them our way for the upcoming webinars. And we also have a survey for this webinar series. I'm going to put the link in the chat. So we would love your feedback. If you have any comments or critiques, ways to help us improve our presentation in the future, we are all ears. So I'm about to put that link in the chat for you. And Carmen, do we want to mention the great work that different environmental groups are doing in the Sound Shore communities?
Well, at least I think we want to make people aware that like a lot of your municipalities have a sustainability committee. For example, the large one has environmental committee that you can join and participate if you're interested in helping sustainability efforts. Shout out to the town of Mamaroneck and their sustainability collaborative. Also, the village of Pelham has a sustainability advisory board, and New Rochelle has Green New Rochelle. So yeah, just get involved, reach out to your committees and if you're interested.
Perfect. Okay, well, thanks so much everyone for joining us. I'm going to take a look at the chat, and if there's any questions, feel free to unmute yourself and we can kind of go from there.
I have one more question, if you don't mind.
Sure.
I think when Westchester Power first started, it was a savings, even going with the green energy program. It was like, I think a 10% savings or 5%. Correct me if I'm off by that. But, you know, Con Ed has gone to the PSC for a rate increase. So I'm just wondering, how is it that now there's a slight, that, you know, Westchester Power is slightly above the cost of Con Ed?
Okay, so I think that you might be confusing the percentage with community solar, which is a guaranteed up to 10% savings on your electricity bill. But if that's not the case, at the start of our program, the market for the electricity rate was somewhere like around 9 to 8 cents for the rate. And we actually secured a good rate, a good fixed rate for our first contract that helped us gain a lot of savings. And on our second contract, we secured an even lower rate than what we originally started with. So we got a 7.96 cents, but something happened that was crazy and unpredicted. We weren't aware that this was going to happen, which was that the utility rates were going to drop dramatically, unprecedentedly. And then we also had, you know, like the conditions of the market and COVID, and things are just things that we weren't prepared for. But we want to again note that like the 7.96 cents for the second contract was lower than the first contract, than the rate we got on the first contract. And that's kind of like our strategy still moving forward. We're looking to set fixed rates that, you know, stay within the neighborhood of what, where we have been, or even actually think the next contract will potentially be lower than what we paid for this contract. So we're still in the whole supply negotiations and more, but we will let you know what that rate is. But if you just look at that, you're going to see that we're successfully securing lower rates every contract. And I'm not too sure what you meant by the Con Ed going to the PSC for a higher rate. I know that Con Ed had an increase in their distribution costs. That means they are charging customers more for distribution. That may have been due to the installation of smart meters, or just any planned distribution line upgrades. But that's as much as I think I'm aware as to like what you might mean by that. And but feel free to ask a clarification question.
Yeah, you might be right that it was in the distribution. I think it was like a 4.3% increase, and maybe that was in, you know, where they were looking at increasing their service fees.
Yes, they definitely had an increase in their service fees on the distribution side that was applied to all of our residents, really.
Okay.
I guess to follow to Catherine's question. Hi, Catherine. The rate that Westchester Power has, the current rate is now quite a bit higher than the supply rate for Con Ed. So I would hope that the next contract will be a good amount lower.
So we've been learning that this has been like a drop, historical drop for the utility rate. And we're working really hard to get the most competitive price possible for green supply. I think that if we are successful with where we're heading so far, we will definitely be securing a less expensive rate than what we currently have. But we also have this understanding that the energy market says that energy rates are going to go up. So the utility rates are also going to go up. So we might, be closer to the value that the utility has, but we're not really able to forward predict to a degree that we are very certain and say, this is what's going to happen in the market. But we can only just see indicators. And again, what we're going to do is try to secure the most affordable, economical green supply. And also, like, all of our customers will be aware of what that rate will be once we go to the bidding process to secure a new supplier.
Okay, so I also have, I would like to hear a little bit more about community solar, and also just to comment that the number of entities involved, so just as you're saying, when you talk to people, there's a lot of confusion. I think that's natural because there's Westchester Power, then there's Sustainable Westchester, and there's Constellation Energy, and then we get things in the mail, frequently from other companies, and there are just so many different entities involved that I'm not sure how you can clarify it for people, but to the extent that you can explain in your publications and your mailings who the different entities are and how they're working together, that might help.
Sure. So let's do a brief clarification right now. So Sustainable Westchester is the nonprofit organization overseen by the municipalities in the county. And then there is a Westchester Power program, which is a program of the nonprofit organization. And Constellation is the supplier we secure with the Westchester Power program. And we want to note again what Lauren said, all of our communication that you receive via mail should come with a municipality seal. So if you live in New Rochelle, look for the municipality seal for New Rochelle. And I think that's, we're doing this so that everyone feels safe, because again, this is a community energy program. This is for our community, and we want you to have these pointers, but we will definitely try harder to make it very explicit, because we understand there could be a lot of confusion out there. Lauren, do you want to add anything?
That was perfect. I have nothing to add.
Okay. So Deborah, you wanted to learn about community solar, which is really an exciting program that we have. Basically, Lauren has just given you a link to it, but what you do is you sign up to a solar development project. It is not within your roof. It's usually, like, let's say for the Con Ed territory would be in John F. K, the airport. They're setting up solar panels there. So you sign up to support this solar development. And what ends up happening is that credits get applied to your utility bill. And these credits are deducted from your bill. And so you end up paying the difference in your utility bill. And for those solar credits that get applied, you pay for them to the solar development system that you would be enrolled in at a discounted price. So in the end, you end up saving up to 10% in your utility bill. It's a very complex thing to understand, but you can do the math. We could walk you through it through another presentation with graphics to make it a lot easier to understand. But just know that this opportunity helps you save up to 10%, and it is available for you. You can enter the program through a contract that you can easily exit out of the program if you're not satisfied. But it does give you, like, you need a amount of time to sign up. I think it's about 60 days, and then to sign out also about 60 days. So that's the only thing, but again, guaranteed savings, that's the promise of the program.
Yeah.
So is there more information about that on the Sustainable Westchester website?
Yes, so I'm not sure if you're able to see the chat, but Lauren put up the link to it, but it's basically going to Sustainable Westchester /solar. If that's harder to remember, you could just go on the regular website and go on our programs, and you're going to see our Solarize program, our community solar program there.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's definitely worth it. And I know it seems kind of complicated, but just like Westchester Power is complicated, for the back end, on the consumer facing side, it's really pretty easy. So to participate in community solar, really all you need to do is sign up on the website, and then you're going to still get your Con Ed bill. It'll be less than it normally is, and then you'll receive a second bill from the group working with community solar, and that will give you your 10% savings in that. Mathematically, they're working it all out for you. You'll get 2 bills and you save 10%. And I've been doing it, I think, for like 5 months now, and I save 10% every month. So that's been great. And it's a nice compliment to Westchester Power. But, you know, Westchester Power, everyone's automatically enrolled. Community solar, you need to sign up for yourself. So follow the link and please let us know how it goes for you.
Yeah, and just to add, you can participate in Westchester Power and community solar at the same time, so take advantage. A lot of our programs work like this, so take advantage of all the programs we have available for you.
Okay, do you have any more questions?
I don't, thank you very much.
Okay, so the link to community solar and also the survey, if you have time to fill out the survey, we would greatly appreciate your feedback, because Carmen and I want to do plenty more of these, and hopefully some in person at some point soon. So feedback is great, and thanks again for taking time out of your day to join the presentation and talk about Westchester Power.
Well, thank you very much, both of you, for the information. And you know, it was I think your presentation is excellent, and for somebody who's just kind of new to it all, I think it's really terrific and gives a very, very good explanation. So well done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good, glad to hear that. Okay, everybody.
All right, have a good night.
Bye.